Welcome to the Holistic Productivity Podcast. I'm your host, Chris LeBrun, helping you achieve your goals in every area of life so you can dream big, plan smart, and live fully. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. And if you're not learning from it, you are wasting the most valuable data you have. I want to tell you something about myself that will either make you relate to me immediately or question my life choices entirely, and that's okay. I love spreadsheets. I genuinely love spreadsheets. Excel is basically like a second language for me. Give me a data set and a few formulas, and I am a happy man. Now, in my work as a nonprofit fundraiser, this is a very useful personality trait because I spend a lot of time analyzing our fundraising appeals, breaking down what worked, what didn't, where we hit the mark, where we missed it. And here's the thing about that work. The successful appeals are great. I love seeing those numbers. But the ones that didn't perform, those are just as valuable, sometimes more. Because when something doesn't work, the data can tell you exactly where the breakdown happened. If you're willing to look at it honestly instead of just feeling bad about the result. Now, that mindset, treating a miss as information rather than a verdict, is something I've had to learn to apply just as deliberately in my own business as I do in my day job. Earlier this year, I hosted a free webinar to help people set goals for the new year. And I was genuinely proud of the content. Was it perfect? No, there's always room for improvement, but the delivery was strong, the material was solid, and I felt good about what I put together. Now, what I didn't feel so great about was the attendance. And the fact is, I didn't promote it enough, plain and simple. I did not get the word out the way I should have, and as a result, I didn't have nearly as many people in the room as I wanted. And in that moment, sitting with that result, I had a choice. I could decide that webinars just don't work for me, that it wasn't worth the effort, that I'd just move on and try something else. Or I could look at it like a spreadsheet. What worked? The content, the delivery, the format. What didn't work? The promotion. What does that tell me? Exactly where to put my energy next time. That's it. That's the whole analysis. And now, instead of avoiding webinars, I'm already thinking about how to do the next one better with a promotional plan that actually matches the effort I put into the content itself. That's what real growth looks like. Not a clean, unbroken line from effort to success, a series of attempts, each one teaching you something the last one couldn't. So here's what I want to reframe for you today. We treat failure like a verdict, like the result is the final word on our capability or our readiness or our potential. You failed the exam. I'm not smart enough. The launch didn't land. I'm not cut out for this. The relationship didn't work. Something must be wrong with me. But a verdict closes the case, and data opens it back up. Every miss tells you something useful about your approach, your timing, your assumptions, or your preparation. The question is never just, did I fail? The question is, what did this teach me? What would I do differently? What did I find out about myself or my strategy that I couldn't have known without going through this? Because here's the reality. You can't learn what doesn't work without trying things that don't work. I mean, it's pretty basic. And that is not a consolation prize. That's how the process actually functions. The people who grow the fastest are not the ones who fail the least. They're the ones who extract the most from every miss and use it to show up better the next time. So whatever you're working on right now, a goal that didn't land, a project that underperformed, an attempt that fell short of what you hoped, I want you to resist the urge to call it a verdict. Open up the spreadsheet instead. Look at the data honestly. Find one or two things it's trying to tell you and use that information to make the next attempt better than this one. That is not failure. That's how growth works. You know what's interesting about trying to accomplish something really meaningful? You can put in a ton of work, learn a lot, and still not actually finish. And our brains are weirdly programmed to see that as failure. So here's what happened to me the other weekend. A couple episodes back, I mentioned that I got my ham radio license. Well, I decided I wanted to dive into the digital side of radio, something called DMR. It's a whole different animal from regular analog radio. And I promise I won't get too technical or geeky with this. Just stay with me. So I got this new digital radio and I committed to figuring it out. And I'm talking spending much of the weekend on this thing. So Sunday night, as we're getting ready for bed, my wife asked me the question that honestly I'd been asking myself all day. And that was, so did you get it to work yet? And I said no. The radio still wasn't programmed right. I still didn't have it ready to go. But then something hit me. I wasn't actually upset. I mean, I was frustrated that it was taking longer than I thought it would. But even though I wasn't at the finish line, I had learned a lot that weekend. See, what I didn't realize was how much I didn't know. I thought I'd just use the programming software that I already knew. Turns out, because of all the digital features, I needed completely different software. Learning curve number one. Then I got into the software and there were all these settings and features that I didn't understand and I didn't know how they were related to one another. Learning curve number two. It was like solving a puzzle where half the pieces were backwards. But here's the thing. By Sunday night, I wasn't lost anymore. I understood the landscape. I mean, I didn't fully understand it, but I knew more than I did before. I knew what questions to ask, and I was genuinely closer to having that radio ready than I was on Friday night. That's progress. And I realized I should probably celebrate it instead of fixating on the fact that I wasn't done yet. The same thing is happening with the Holistic Productivity Planner. It's taken way longer to go from idea to prototype to production than what I originally thought. There have been detours and refinements and, oh, wait, we need to rethink this, those moments, right? But you know what? I'm so much more prepared for the actual launch because of all those steps. I know the product better. I know the landscape better. I've thought through different scenarios. I've learned things that will make the planner and your experience a whole lot better. But here's what I think a lot of us get wrong about our goals. We think we should be able to go from 0 to done in a straight line. We think progress should look like a perfect climb up a mountain. But that's not how anything really works. Launching something new, learning a skill, building a business, those things require a lot of incremental steps. Some of them are backward steps, some of them are side steps, some of them feel like detours, but every single one of them is moving you closer to your goal if you're willing to learn from it. Think about your own goals. The ones that matter most to you probably aren't things you can accomplish this week or this month. They're bigger than that. And if that's true, then the work you're doing right now, the learning, the adjustments, the half-finished attempts, those aren't failures. That's the process. That's what big dreams require. So tonight, before you close your eyes and think, man, I still haven't done the thing, try this instead. Think about what you did learn. What ground did you actually cover? Where are you today that's different than where you were a week ago? That's progress. And that's absolutely worth celebrating. That's it for the show today. Check out the show notes at holisticproductivity.com/67. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. And you should be watching this episode on YouTube. New episodes drop every single week, and I don't want you to miss a single one. So, again, like, follow, subscribe, and you will get those delivered to you. If you enjoyed today's show, if something just sparked in your head that you hadn't thought about before, I would love to get a 5-star rating. That is the best possible way for other people to find the show. I mean, you can share it with them. I'd love that as well. But randos, strangers, people that you don't know can find the show when you give it a 5-star rating. So would love to see that on your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you follow at Holistic Productivity on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack, all of those social media platforms. There's extra productivity tips and motivation throughout the week. Make sure that you are getting those by following at Holistic Productivity. And I want to invite you to join the Holistic Productivity community. It is absolutely free. It is online. It is full of people just like yourself who are trying to reach their goals. They have big dreams and they are looking for ways to do that. We help keep each other motivated and accountable. I've got a great bunch of resources there to help you stay on track. And I would love to see you. The link is in the show notes for the Holistic Productivity community. Again, thank you for spending time with me today. I appreciate that so much. The reason that I do this, the reason that I love us hanging out together is to help you dream big, plan smart, and live fully. And I'm just so thrilled that you're taking this step today to help you reach your goals and your dreams. All right. So have a great week, and we will see you next time on the Holistic Productivity Podcast.